Hi, good folks. How are you doing today? You can't answer me, but I'm here. I wanted to share with you something that it just hit me like a lightning bolt a minute ago, and so I thought I'm gonna go share this with my Christian brothers and sisters. This week, and I'll tell you a little bit of a background here. This week, most of the time, I have felt so deflated, defeated, discouraged, and all of that. And it's one of those situations, and I don't know if you felt like this, but you can't really pinpoint it. Like, what's causing this? What am I discouraged about? So you go back in your memory. Well, some things happened, but life is life. And this week, that's kind of how I felt, just down, discouraged, disappointed, and it's just one of those generic feelings, and I couldn't explain why. Today, I decided, okay, besides, I'm kind of winding down for the evening, playing some video games, maybe watching some YouTube videos and things like that, and it occurred to me, in this time of deep, whatever I was feeling, there was something I felt like I was missing, like I was hitting a brick wall, and I didn't understand why. And so I decided I'm going to put on, one of my favorite preachers. So I put on one of my favorite preachers, and he does a great job, and it was fine. Then I started reading some scripture, and then it's almost as if I felt inflated again. And I've realized that this week, I'm a pastor, I'm a Christian, I'm just going to admit this and be authentic. This week, I haven't really gotten into Scripture as much as I normally do. And I think as Christians, so when I did, by the way, when I did, I felt like I was reinvigorated, re-energized. I want to preach right now, I guess that's kind of what I'm doing here. But what I realized is in the times where I have neglected Scripture or neglected times of prayer, and just as a pastor, I don't get to sit down and hear a message myself. I realize that is what takes the wind out of my sails. That is what drains me. That is what makes me feel deflated and defeated and discouraged. Is that I've been malnourished this week, and so this is my warning to any Christian that's watching. You will find yourself, and I can't just put a blanket statement that my experience is your experience, but this is a universal experience that I'm talking about right now, is that as a Christian, if we don't get into Scripture, if we don't get into prayer, if we don't get into worship, if we don't get into, sitting under teaching, that we will start to deflate like a balloon. We'll start to feel that discouragement. We can't really define what it is that's discouraging us or defeating us or disappointing us or things like that. We'll become more bitter. We'll become more irritable. We'll become just more angry at things very easily. And we're still Christian. We still love Jesus. We're still going to heaven. But the problem is that we become malnourished. So I thought this was interesting. I wanted to share that because you might think of me as a person that's just in Scripture 24/7, but sometimes, life happens, things get in your way, you don't get into the Bible as much as you should, and that happens with me as well. So just make sure you make time for it. Make sure you make adequate time that you can get into these things. I'm not being legalistic, but what I'm telling you is that just as your body needs certain nutrients, your spirit needs certain nutrients as well. So make sure that that's a priority for you. So I just wanted to share that real quick, and hopefully that blessed you today.